While everyone else was soaking up the South Beach sun, the real action in Miami was happening behind closed doors. Forget the official Team USA photos of Caitlin Clark showing up at camp. What actually went down when the cameras were off has never been fully revealed. Until now. We're talking about secret training sessions with Sophie Cunningham, whispers of a locker room clash involving Stephanie White, and the real reason Caitlin was getting impatient with the CBA negotiations while she was in Florida. Today we're pulling back the curtain on the March 2026 Miami residency. From Sophie's jaw-dropping admissions to strategic Big Three talks with Aaliyah Boston, this is the untold story of how the 2026 Indiana Fever season quietly took shape in the shadows of Miami. If you think these players were just there to catch some sun, think again. Let's get into the leaks. Segment 1. Sophie Cunningham's Dork League bombshell. The latest jaw-dropper comes straight from Sophie Cunningham. When asked about her best Caitlin Clark moment, Sophie didn't mention a buzzer beater or a highlight reel assist. Instead, she laughed and then admitted that the WNBA locker room is, in her words, absolutely inappropriate. Sophie revealed a side of Caitlin most fans don't see, the biggest dork you'll ever meet. While the media hypes Caitlin as this untouchable, laser-focused superstar, Sophie showed that in Miami, Caitlin was actually the one running the wild locker room energy, stuff even NBA players wouldn't dare touch. Why does this matter? Because it hints at the chemistry that's quietly forming. Sophie, an unrestricted free agent in 2026, was right there in Miami training with Caitlin, not just hanging out, but building a bond that could impact the Fever's future. When Sophie says she loves Caitlin's vibe, she's signaling to the front office that the team runs smoother when she's in the locker room. This leak proves one thing: the Fever's culture is shifting from quiet and young to loud, confident, and energized, and Caitlin is the engine driving it. Segment 2. Locker room tensions and Stephanie White. But it wasn't all jokes and dorky moments in Miami. There have been whispers for months about a power struggle between Caitlin Clark and head coach Stephanie White, dating back to the 2025 playoff run. With White serving as an assistant at Team USA's Miami camp, the two were forced to confront those tensions head on. As the leaks from inside the camp reveal multiple high-stakes sit-downs where the future direction of the 2026 Fever roster was debated. Caitlin wanted to push the tempo, running the floor at the pace she dominated in Iowa. White, on the other hand, pushed for a disciplined, defense-first approach. Sophie Cunningham's recent comments about a locker room clash confirmed that there was a genuine battle over the team's identity. But what unfolded in Miami wasn't fighting, it was negotiation. After nearly every practice, Caitlin and White were seen locked in deep conversation. The payoff? A flawless 5-0 run in the FIA qualifiers that followed. According to insiders, Caitlin didn't just claim MVP honors in San Juan, she won the identity war. In 2026, the Fever will play her style, and Stephanie White is fully on board with this restarted engine. On segment 3, CBA tensions and Miami pressure. While the team was in Miami, the March 10th CBA deadline loomed like a storm cloud. Leaks from the team hotel describe Caitlin pacing quietly, her focus razor sharp during every negotiation update. When she finally addressed the media on a Zoom call from Miami, her words were pointed: "I don't understand why we don't just get in a room and shake hands." This wasn't a generic comment, it was strategic. Caitlin used the Miami camp as leverage. She knew that without a deal, the season and her highly anticipated comeback from injury could be delayed. Sophie Cunningham stood by her side, amplifying the call for transparency. According to sources within the WNBPA, Caitlin's ultimatum in Miami is what finally forced the owners to approve a landmark agreement, including multi-million-dollar salaries. And she wasn't just working on her step-back jumper, she was practicing executive-level moves. While Aaliyah Boston was sidelined with a serious injury, Caitlin carried the weight of the league's future on her shoulders, right there in that Miami facility. The March 18th deal? Directly shaped by the pressure she and her inner circle applied while seemingly vacationing in Florida. Segment 4. The Pulse in Puerto Rico. Finally, we have to talk about the hilarious social media moment that shows just how tight Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham have become. After the Miami camp moved to Puerto Rico, Caitlin shared a playful photo dump celebrating being back. Enter Sophie Cunningham, the ultimate troll. She immediately commented, "Still pale, even after being in PR, crazy." On the surface, it's just a joke, but this little jab actually reveals a lot about their dynamic. Sophie feels comfortable enough to publicly roast one of the biggest stars in the world, and Caitlin wasn't about to let it slide. She fired back by reacting to Aaliyah Boston's sun-kissed bikini post with a single word that sent fans into a frenzy. This kind of playful back and forth is at the heart of the 2026 Indiana Fever. In Miami, these players weren't just fine-tuning their game, they were building a sisterhood grounded in trust, humor, and yes, trolling. This bond is exactly what will carry them through a grueling 44-game season. Next time you see Caitlyn and Sophie laughing on the bench, Ashish, remember, it all started with a joke about sunblock in Miami. And make no mistake, they're not just a fun duo, they're a united front, ready to dominate the league. So what were Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham really doing in Miami? They weren't just training, they were rewriting the rules of the WNBA. They resolved locker room tensions, they pushed for that landmark $1 million CBA deal, and they forged a chemistry that is going to make life miserable for every other team in the league. The engine is officially restarted, and thanks to the Miami leaks, we can see it's running smoother than ever. Now, Fiverr Nation, I want to hear from you. Do you think Caitlyn's business-first attitude in Miami is what saved the season? And are you hashtag Team Caitlyn needs a tan or hashtag Team Caitlyn just needs a ring? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And hit that like button if you're hyped for the April 25th preseason opener in New York, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single leak from Indiana Fever Camp. The 2026 season is gonna be wild, and we're covering every second of it. Catch you in the next one, and keep it locked, family.